Hi guys, and welcome back to my full month of nothing new. As I was thinking about videos to do, this is one that just kind of naturally fits. It's one that makes sense. So we are going to do a full face of my old favorites. These are products that I have talked about, loved on, used up, but no longer reach for because they've been replaced by other things. I want to see if they are still as good as I remember and if I should be using them instead. So that's what we're doing today. Just gonna put on some old favorites, kind of play with some makeup. Lincoln is here. He is gonna be starting his ABA therapy in a couple of weeks, so his noises in the background will probably be going away for the most part. He'll probably be in some videos still, but let's get on to the makeup. Grab some of my old favorites. Let's just go through these. I actually got two different, what is this? I got two different primers. One is broken, the lid is broken, but this is the Illamasqua. You can't see that because the name is gone. It's the coolest little like jelly texture. It's the coolest texture ever. But this was a primer that I used, so I'm gonna start with this. And then we're gonna go into a primer that I used a lot, and that is the Touch and Soul No Pore Blem Primer. As you can see, I used quite a bit of this, and the only pore filling primer that I consistently used. Don't really use pore filling primers all that much anymore, but I did use this one a lot. So let's see if I should put this back into my routine. Now that I am double primed, we're gonna go on to foundation. I actually picked out two, I was trying to decide which one. But the first one I wanted to talk about is the Bare Minerals Hydrating Stick Foundation. I loved this thing. This is how much is left, and I was kind of thinking, since I've been into the foundation stick life with the Merit, I kind of wanted to try this to see if it compares to it at all. Ooh, no powder for you. Leave that alone, you stinker. The Guerlain foundation, which I still love and would use every day if I could buy another one, but it's out of stock everywhere. Kind of stopped using it because I didn't want to run out. So I think for today I'm gonna do the Bare Minerals Stick Foundation. I'm really curious now to see if I like this after using the Merit one. This was the first stick foundation that I actually liked and enjoyed using. So let's see how it compares. I still like it. I was afraid that it would look a little heavier on the skin than it does, but let's add a little bit more. It feels a little bit thicker on the skin than the Merit, but it looks beautiful and smoothing. Beautiful foundation. That one's gorgeous. I mean, I know that, I've used it, but I have the shade Opal 01, by the way. For concealer, I'm going to use the Milk Makeup. This was my first concealer love, I believe. I used the Tarte Shape Tape for a couple of years, and I guess I would say I loved that one, but this one was just more like, I don't know. This was my first like concealer I had to have. And I used it up until the point where I found the Kosas one, which is my current one. But this is still in my everyday makeup bag, and I go, if I had more, I would use it more often. It's almost empty. And I have Kosas, so I can't justify spending money on it right now. But, well, I mean, I'm not buying anything right now, so. But the Milk Makeup is still a favorite, but I've been using it for years now. All right, so now we're gonna move on to brows. I'm not used to do anything to my brows, and now that I do something to my brows, it looks weird if I don't. That makes sense. But this was the first brow product that I consistently used, and that is the Winky Lux Unibrow. I talked about this so much on my channel. It was the only brow product I talked about. And it's still like a great, so quick, easy, and it matches my brows so wonderfully. I currently use the Kosas Brow Pop, which is the same shape as this, but about half the size. It's a smaller shape, smaller version of this shape, basically. And I like them both, and I do still use this one, but I'm currently like on a kick with the, well, between the Kosas Brow Pop and the Merit pomade stuff I use. Not pomade, what is that called? Brow gel? Something like that. Okay, so there's the brows, so stinking fast. Bronzer, this is an oldie. This one is something that a lot of people have used. Some people still do, because it's a great bronzer, and that's the OG butter bronzer. And this is the original shade, Sun-Kissed bronzer, and it smells yummy. This is not a 5-year-old one. This is pretty new, actually. I haven't used it that much. I bought it because I needed it. I needed to have it, but I haven't been using it because, you know, I have newer bronzers that I have. So let's see if this is still as good after using all these other bronzers. I think I stopped using the butter bronzer when I got the Hourglass palettes. I started using the ambient lighting palettes, and that's when I stopped using the butter bronzer, I think. But now I don't even have the latest Hourglass palette. I want it, but I couldn't justify buying it this year. Still want it. If it's still available whenever I can afford makeup, then I might get it, but I do like it. And that leads us into blush. This was my favorite, I believe, of all the ones that I've had, and it's the Ghost Edit palette. I had the year before that, and then this is the last year's. I didn't touch this one much at all because the shades were too dark for me. But this one I used a lot. So I'm gonna take the lighter blush shade right here. Then I'm going to try and get some of this highlight out. Highlight had a beautiful pinky tone to it. Beautiful glowy highlight. Okay, and then I am gonna take the mixture of these two powders to set under the eyes lightly. And there is the face of my favorites. I love these products. Now oh, I had another blush. I had the Essence Silky Touch blush. This one I love. The packaging is destroyed, but I don't think they make this one anymore, but this was such a beautiful light pink, stunning blush in the shade Baby Doll. Now we're moving on to eyes because I had another highlight too. Another highlight that I pulled out was the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Blossom Glow highlight. This one is a beautiful shade as well. Okay. Eyes, let's get onto these eyes because that's what we're all here for, right? If you have been around here for a long time, you will know my love for this palette. I have not picked it up in so long though. I ranked this my #1 palette like 2 times in a row that I ranked palettes. This is the Urban Decay Born to Run, and I still think this is a great palette. I don't reach for it that much because 1, it's getting old, and makeup does expire. And 2, I just have so many palettes. So Sky was always my favorite, I loved that. Let's start with Weekender right here. Put this in the crease. I love that this palette blends so quickly. The mattes are beautiful. I love the packaging of this too. Okay, so there's a couple of shades in here that are not really touched at all because they're not my shades. So I think I'm gonna use those. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna take Baja. This is a shade, I'm not really an orange wearer, and so this is one that I didn't wear much, so I'm going to give this one a try. I normally lean towards the purples or the pinks or blues or greens. Those are the colors that I normally stick with. I'm not a huge fan of golds and oranges and such, but let's give this a try. I have used this. I mean, I think I've done videos even using this shade, but I never really reached for it in like my daily use. Okay, and so this is a shade that looks like it has not been touched. So we're gonna put this one on, and that's why it looks orange. So I'm gonna put this on the outer half of my lid. And then I'm gonna blend that out. I'm gonna take Blaze and put that on my inner corner. That looks so pretty. I like those two colors together a lot. Then I'm gonna take Good Is Gone right here on the end, and I'm gonna put just a little bit of that in the outer corners. I don't know if you've noticed, I've used this one brush for the entire eye look. I used to do that a lot, just use one brush. I still do when I'm too lazy to look for another one. This is also an old favorite. This is a Tarte brush, or a Sugar Rush by Tarte. And this was like their little pencil set. I really like these brushes. The It Cosmetics pencil brush. I loved anything that looks like a pencil for some reason. All right, I'm gonna take Baja on my lower lash line. Kind of tie that into the top. And just blend that out a little bit more. And I'm taking Breakaway on the inner corner and under the brow bone. This was definitely my most used shade in the palette, is Breakaway. There we go, there are the eyes. I don't really know what mascara I liked a long time ago, but the Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara is one I used a lot this past, was it this year or last year? But I haven't used it in quite a while, so I think it was this year that I used it a lot. I don't remember. Good mascara. My child got quiet in the other room, and that's never a good sign. I have a different lens on, and for some reason, like the camera's sitting up higher, and I feel like I'm like having to stretch to be in frame. So sorry about that. I am currently renting a lens for a wedding that I'm shooting, and I thought I would film with it while I had it to see what I thought. It is not a cheap lens. It's extremely expensive. But I'm testing it out to see if it's worth that price tag. It's a lens that I could use for a lot of different things, so it might be, but it's also very, very heavy, so holding that all day at the wedding is going to be fun. So the lip gloss I had picked out doesn't really go with this, but I don't really know. I think I have an old favorite that would go with this because I never wore warm tones. So we're just gonna go with what I picked out and ignore that it doesn't match. That is the NYX Butter Gloss. These were, when I first started my channel is when I tried these, and this is the shade Angel Food Cake. I like this one, and I like Creme Brulee and Tiramisu. Those are my favorites. I still love them. I don't use them as much, but this was a deeper, the other two are a little bit more neutral, but I don't seem to have them. This is the only one I have, so this is what we're gonna wear today. Does not go at all with the eyes. Sorry about that. Maybe something I have, right? Oh, what about, oh, I found an old one. Okay, this is old, but it was a favorite. They don't make this anymore, and it's probably, sure, it's safe to use. We'll just say that. This is from Bite Beauty, and this is the shade Meringue. This was their Mouche Booze lipsticks, and this one was a definite favorite. So I think I have everything on my face. So there is my full face using old favorites. The foundation looks great. I love the Hourglass products. I really want that new palette now, but I'm not gonna. Eyebrows, I love the Winky Lux Unibrow pencil. It's a great option. This eyeshadow palette still performed beautifully. It was so quick, so easy, and it looks beautiful. I hope this encouraged you to bring out some of your old favorites and see if you still enjoy them. I know sometimes we get new makeup, we get excited about it, and then we forget about our old ones, but they're still good. So, all right guys, I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you want to see my future videos, hit that subscribe button down below. And I will see you guys next time. Stay gorgeous. Bye. What would a full month of nothing be? Full month of nothing. This is how much is... We're good. I hope that this video encourages you to... Take two. I hope this is... Take three. I hope that this video encouraged you... Any more? Take four. I hope this is... I'm gonna have to say something else. Take five.